Hello, hello. Let me make sure everything is refreshed and ready to go. Welcome, guys. We're playing Reverse 1999. It's gonna be another story time episode as I continue through chapter 5, but the interchapter, the star. Alrighty, I'm working on those dailies. The dailies are done, the dailies are done. Yeah. Alright. Good to see the dailies done. I have not started our new content yet. I'm gonna try to wait until... Well, can we... Is it obvious when all the things have unlocked? No, they want to make me go there. How do I know when everything unlocks? Potate, can you tell me when everything's unlocked? How will I know? I can't click it unless I watch this video, which I want to do when I record. No, do I have to restart again? Or I guess I should be able to watch this video again, right? Can I rewatch it? I can rewatch it, right? Right? I hope. Maybe. Why are they making me watch a video? Go away. I'm sure I must be able to watch it. I hope. If not, I'll have to watch somebody. Okay. Watch the operational... So... operational guides to master the key elements. So I can go back to this, right? No! Go away! God, did I just miss it? Entering the experiment without reviewing the guidelines. I don't want to enter the experiment! Yes? Okay. Oh! It took it away! Fuck off. Ah. Discord has another reward system for those who have developed their criticism. Oh yeah, I've seen that. But I didn't, like, do anything with it. I should probably do that myself. Okay, I will look into that. Is it in the community news or where was that? Let's see. Community hub, right? Yeah, community hub. New Babel critter stall. Click the button with corresponding number to claim the rewards if you completed the task. Collect 10 types. Oh, okay, right. I had seen this when they did it, but I had barely done anything, so I was like, I don't know what that even means. Alright, I will look. So if you've done it in game, and then we clicked it and it verifies it? How? I guess? Yeah, okay. I will check that out. Alright, let me go back here. So this shows Imagination Palace. As you delve deeper into the palace, you'll present it with the... Okay. Light up mind sparks inside the walls of the memory palace, which will unlock even more challenges waiting for you. So this isn't even available for 7 days. What? Then what do we do? No. Okay, we're gonna earn bulbs to unlock things. So I guess we can only probably earn so many at a time. That's the thing, right? By doing these things, we're gonna earn bulbs. Yeah, I guess it's not really obvious what unlocks when. Thought process? What is this? Oh, sweet lord. Okay, basics. Selectable effects. Thought slots. Yeah, I already shared the new code in my Discord, and I will have a video posting for it later. Yes, emphasis on hope is a new promo code. I already recorded the video, I just didn't post yet because I was going live. Hello, Days Sureem. Yeah, I don't know about this. This is confusing to follow when to do what, so I'll just have to look on other people. If you complete everything, you can get exactly enough for all the rewards in the Moth Code shop. So, but only some of it, like, we can do everything except the Imagination Palace, which has these moths. The Imagination Palace itself says available in 7 days. Or is all of this not even available? Is that what that means? I don't know what this means. I don't dare click anything because I want to record all of it, but that's content creator life. I already fucked up going to the intro. I have to try to watch somebody else's intro. Oh god. That mode wants you to beat everyone around the hand. Yeah. The last 2 stages in the Imagination Palace are maybe... So there's this, and then there's this. Oh, these 2 that are not... Okay. So maybe those last 2... Oh yes, you're right, because they say they have the butterflies here. And they have bigger butterflies, moths, I mean, on them. The moth, not butterfly, sorry. There's 4 of these special moths plus 2 of these weird ones, which is what it looks like here. Yeah, that makes sense. So well, we'll be able to do all these, but not the final 2, I guess? Okay, well, I don't know when I should do it, but I have so much content to post over the next couple of days, I don't really have time anyway. Or if I did, I would be bumping even more, but I hate not doing things when it happens, because then, as a content creator, that's just bad. But if not all of it's unlocked anyway, I don't mind waiting. You guys can help me figure that out. Okay, let me keep adding to my stash. My stash is growing, guys, we're getting there. I will be posting my video from my first playthrough of my stage 7 of Limbo tomorrow, early in the day again. Okay. Alrighty, so maybe we just dive right in here. This will be a little bit shorter of a stream, I think, because we're just doing the star today, which is good. I've been so busy and I want to edit that promo code video and post that as well. Yay, promo codes. We have 6-part story here that's only story, no battles anyway to worry about. But then when it comes to chapter 6, I recorded all of my battles with dialogue already. I just need to edit it into a quick thing to digest each part quickly and easily without the fluff of the battle with my severely underdeveloped team at that time. So I will plan to have that ready to do with this. But first I'll be doing the character stories for 6 and 37. So that'll be fun. And ready to go. Oops. I hope I wasn't talking the whole time in the background. There wasn't an echo, was there? I don't think so. Alrighty. So it looks like Twitch and YouTube are working okay on the chat box. Yay, okay. Yeah, let's dive in. So we're continuing this inter-chapter. So I guess, actually, let me just show what that looks like if you guys want to know what I'm talking about if you're new here. We have the prisoner in the cave. And then the star is this inter-chapter special. And that's what we're going to go through here. I don't believe there was any little nodes to look at even. No, there wasn't. It's just the story, so... Okay. I've only done through the end of chapter 6. I'll be just doing the story with the battles in the future eventually, I think, because unless I just randomly do, because I don't like having to record every single battle just because there's important dialogue. It's really annoying. Okay, the star, part 1. Lovely meeting. There's one trail? Oh, right here, you're right. Rain within reach. Okay. I forget I could just click these and actually read them. It's fine. It's too late now. We're only on chapter 5. It's fine. The star. Part 1. Lovely meeting.
Wow! So this is the library in Burton's school! So many people here. They're probably around my age.
A gorgeous sap green dress jumps into the library of SPDM. The owner keeps talking in a sing-song tone like a chirping gold crest.
We've also got this many shelves in the library of Sotheby's Manor. Are there any alchemy workshops and potion warehouses here, like in our manor?
She thinks this is her mansion. The young lady stands on tiptoe, looking around this place curiously.
Where can I find Miss Bueniche? Madame Z told me to come here, but she didn't give any other clues.
Why are they acting like we haven't met Sotheby before? It's weird. We know who Sotheby is by now.
The people here really need Mr. Teaketler, who is always nice and warm to the guests. Just twist his teapot ear, then he can take you anywhere. If not so, placing a luck-a-day potion at the entrance would help as well. If I had made it before I came, Miss Bueniche and I might have met by now. Or she will just pop up behind me. Are you looking for me? Oh my word! Oops, that was too loud. Where are my manners?
Yeah, maybe. Sotheby straightens the wrinkles on her dress, gives out her hand like a real lady.
Oh, nice to meet you. Are you Miss Bueniche?
The other girl nods hastily, or haughtily. Her uniform speaks for itself. Seems to be a historic first meeting for them.
Fantastic! How did you find me? Did you see me in the Oniromancy?
Two rich kids.
Either way, it is the great Arcanum. I'm much greater than that. Look at you, dressed as if you'd just been to a ball. You are as eye-catching as the pigment board on a sketch. I saw you the moment I came into the library.
I mean, she does stick out like a sore thumb.
Does the foundation hold balls too? Non, I'm saying... Est-ce que tous les amis de Vertine parlent comme ça? Never mind. Madame Z told me you wanted to look up the materials on the mysterious school that believes in numbers here. That's right. Miss Moisson told me she will thoroughly check the documents in the Foundation archive. So I'll go through the books in the SPDM library. If we can find anything about that school, we can be of more help to Vertin and her team. I'm sorry, Miss Sotheby, but I'm afraid the situation is going to disappoint you.
Oh boy.
While you spend the last hour looking for Teaketler's ear, the kind-hearted monitor assistant already gained valuable access to the library. But I haven't found any records regarding the mysterious school that believes in numbers yet.
Like a bolt out of the blue.
Oh, but Miss Moisson said there are so many books here that they can cover the entire back of a Stronsay beast. That's a bit exaggerated, but she's right. Nevertheless, the librarian was transferred to a more important position years ago due to the storm. Many old books are not yet sorted. Some even went missing in the chaos.
So there could be a random-ass book and a random-ass pile.
The materials I could find are the stories of Pythagoras and some books on mathematical theorems. But I don't think they have anything to do with Vertin's issue.
What Matilda sees now is a pair of tear-dimmed eyes.
That means I can't do anything to help them.
Aw, she looks so sad.
Please stop being emotional. It doesn't work on this professional member of the Foundation.
It doesn't work. She looks away and clears her throat like a grown-up.
Without field investigation permission,
I can't take you out to collect information. But in fact, there is still another reference room only known to the most outstanding monitor assistant.
Hooray!
Other students in the library cast disgruntled glances at them.
Shh, shh, shh. It's a violation to make noises in the library!
He's too loud for the library. Tall shelves, unfamiliar surroundings, an impossible mission. The girls walk through the shelves like a fish swimming through coral.
Thank you so much, Miss Buanish. You mentioned ball. I haven't heard that word for a very long time. I remember what Mr. Carson, my butler, had taught me. He said, express your gratitude to fair ladies by holding a grand ball. I'll write to my father and ask for a brand new, unsinkable and maneuverable rock and roll park. I'm sure he will gladly say yes.
Maneuverable rock and roll park?
Yes. We can hold a twist ball on it when Burton and
Oh
her
dear.
team are back.
She just wants to have a
Allow me
party.
to say no. The monitor assistant of SPDM will never participate in such an inelegant activity. Wait, did you just say Verton and her team?
Yeah,
We can talk
Not-
about the ball
you know,
later.
just as a stereotype.
The kind-hearted Matilda Buanish will try her best to help you with the task.
And style. More like the
Of
fashion and
course,
art and
it's only
style
out
is
of her
not my
sense of
vibe.
responsibility, not for some personal reasons.
I'd rather go to the country land in Scotland and sip some scotch with some countrymen than go to Paris. You know. They go faster and faster. Finally, they reach their destination. To patch the fragmented eras in the future and store currently unimportant files and reports. People built this reference room in the shape of a box with gray and white walls. During this awful time, which might last for ages, people call it a footnote of history.
Here we are. The reference room storing unnecessary information. It's a place ignored by most staff. Even so, this careful, reliable monitor assistant will not let go of any details.
She knocks on the rusty sign haughtily. That's a hard word to say.
I officially appoint you as the Chief Assistant of Monitor Assistant of SPDM. I will take my responsibility and teach you how to become a devoted Foundation member.
Matilda pulls off the cloth covering the archive cabinet. Dust rises in the air.
Here is your first task. Read through these unsorted old files. All of them.
The monitor assistant takes a dusty file from the cabinet. The paper inside has already turned yellow.
I have searched all the archived ones. These are the last parts. Most of them are discarded administrative documents, low-priority materials, and substandard reports written by rookie investigators. By the way, you should know I didn't sort any of them out for you, and they don't necessarily have what you want.
It's all right. Leave them to me. I love reading.
You'd better do. Here's the key. Keep it safe. You can sit on the cushions there when you sort out the files. I don't want your dress to stain the stone bench.
Her dress
I
to
will see if
stain
I
the
missed any
bench?
files.
What?
Listen, this monitor assistant will test you on your familiarity with these files when she's back.
How old is this? 1914. Did they not use, like... Did their dye from their clothes just wear off on everything?
Double check Completed. Looks like I didn't miss any relevant files.
Maybe, to be fair.
Quite a long day. I doubt if that spoiled lady can finish all the materials. She must have been bored and fallen asleep, waiting for her tea kettler in the dream. It takes much more than dancing at balls to be a Foundation investigator. I'll send her back to that teacher when she wakes up. In the end, it will be the kind-hearted Matilda who finishes the task for her. Being a great monitor assistant comes with great responsibility.
She's such a little jerk. Hello, Puppetess. Again, Matilda gently pushes the door open. Surprisingly, she's welcomed with an energetic greeting.
Oh, Miss Boanish!
Standing on a ladder, Sotheby gives her a big smile with a stack of files in her hand. The files she didn't finish reading are scattered on the ground, while others have been well organized in the cabinet.
You didn't fall asleep. Did you sort out these files?
Underestimating her.
Yes, and I love these books in uncommon shapes. There are so many wonderful stories. I often read books with Sasana when Father wasn't at home. We read and read until the red bomb waves woke up the sun. Moreover, these files are much easier than Miss Moisson's reading task. Here, the gentleman from River Conway tamed a whole group of Avanks. How marvelous is that?
Oh, okay. Looks like you meet the basic requirements for being a rookie investigator. Tu es plus ou moins qualifié pour être mon assistante en chef.
The young lady doesn't pay much attention to the mumbles from the monitor assistant. She's busy announcing her big discovery.
And I also found this interesting report. It tells a lot about the storm and the numbers. Will this be helpful to Burton?
Hopefully.
Show it to me.
She takes a pile of yellow paper from Sotheby. This neat and orderly written report has no beginning or end. Obviously, the author is a meticulous person.
I have to say, it is undoubtedly a violation to submit such a report, but it will be a travesty of the truth and human sense if I cover it up.
Peace, sense, justice. They have always been the creeds in my heart, and are now the reason why I have decided to write down the whole thing. A long time has passed since the first attack of the most severe crisis in our time, but we are still wondering, what on earth does it mean? That was the eve of the millennium, of which no one had any memories, illogically. The next day, time was already reversed to 1996 the moment we opened our eyes. We walked out of the building made of grey and white marble as usual, hardly aware that the sun we bathed in was from another time. Our survival was unexpected and almost unbelievable in such a calamity which swept the globe. Why did the headquarters of the Foundation survive the reverse? Why couldn't we find our younger selves in the outside world? Did any other region survive it as we did? What was the cause behind this calamity? I didn't know, nor did anyone else. Things remained unclear until time was reversed again. This time, we all witnessed that reign in the 80s.
Interesting.
These files Burton needs?
I think so.
She says in a trembling voice. This monitor assistant, who always claims to be a cool head, has never panicked so much.
It's a report written by someone who witnessed the storm. And it has recorded the storms before Burton became the timekeeper.
Ah, shit. That sounds important. Let's go. Alright, part 2. Soaked in silence. Let's go, let's go.
Before she became the timekeeper? Whoa. So Vertin wasn't born a timekeeper.
She didn't tell you that? Wait, no one is born a timekeeper. It's not an inherited title.
Yeah, no, some baby that can't talk is
Anyway,
just the
this
timekeeper.
report includes the secret chronology only accessible to the core members of the Foundation. You can only check it under the supervision of the monitor assistant before you become a qualified investigator.
Matilda dusts off the folder carefully.
No matter what the reason is, it shouldn't have been shoved in this dusty room like rubbish. To evaluate its authenticity and risk, the genius Matilda Boiniche will fulfill her duty as the monitor assistant and carry out a thorough inspection of this
She
report.
talks about herself in third person too.
If you agree
I
to
really
this
don't like her.
resolution, please nod, Assistant Sotheby.
The speech is full of terminologies Sotheby's never heard of, but it doesn't matter. Based on the tone and speech, you already decided how to answer.
Yes.
Hooray!
That was 1985. A gloomy, miserable night compared to that peaceful morning in 1996, when we were only bothered by confusion. We didn't expect time to be reversed again, nor did we understand the consequence. Even now, I still remember Paulina's desperate cry. One of her hands was already inside the safe area when she fell at the entrance to the headquarters, and that was the only part of her left to us the next second.
What the fuck?
The only legacies we found were an engagement ring on that hand and her favorite blue polka dot scarf, which we used to wrap her remains in the end. To be honest, I admired those who still remained calm and sympathized with the arcanists on the edge of mental breakdown. It had nothing to do with the 1/4 arcanist blood in my body. It was only the kind of empathy which all mankind would share out of instinct in the face of a hopeless calamity. We lost many, too many colleagues. In the materials they sent back, we even saw all the horrifying phenomena, such as one's veins turning into electric wires. Since then, the storm, a word simply taken from visual observation, has been used to refer to the calamity. Of course, we can have a word for the calamity itself. But what words should we use to conclude all the absurdity and panic? Before the storm, we were all familiar with time. It was supposed to be a straight line connecting the past and the future. We followed the line to move forward. We broke free from ignorance. We built civilizations. We developed technologies. We promoted the well-being of mankind. And we improved our living conditions step by step. We were so sure that we were making progress on the right path. But then, the path was taken away all of a sudden. Oh, time, our closest old friend, where are you taking us? Back to the 2 most painful war times in the 20th century? The era when no one had ever heard the hiss of steam engines, or the century when mankind was yet to be enlightened? So far, mankind has achieved a lot in history. Dynamos, automobiles, flyovers, railways, hospitals, poorhouses. But if it goes on like this, what is the point of all the efforts we have made? Now we are like a shipwreck left on the island of time, witnessing the fall of the whole modern world in the unstoppable tsunami. Even though the Foundation has lost a lot of staff members, they are still doing fine compared to Laplace. My younger brother was a good example. He was the most sensible person I have ever known. On the first day of the second reverse, he
Dynamo,
told me,
yeah.
in a calm manner,
With Lucy, right?
At least we have reaffirmed that Newton was right. There was never an arrow of time in classical mechanics. Neither in relativity nor quantum mechanics. That means this is absolutely normal. Whether the time goes backwards or forwards, even if it starts spinning around like a tabletop football player, they're not against the law of physics. We can go back in time and give Poincaré a medal of great profit.
the next day he almost fell off the 6th floor due to excessive drinking. All the perceptions of time and space developed to this day were overthrown. We couldn't find any theories to explain the storm in any existing researches. There could only be 2 reasons for this situation. Either we've been completely wrong all the time, or we've come to a brand new world. And this new world can never make sense in the way of science, or that of physics. It cannot be verified by an independent third party, and it is impossible to be comprehended through reasoning. Is it true that we have been going the wrong way? Is it true that those once proven wrong by history, those arcanists who claim to possess gnosis, are actually on the right path? In fact, the one who put an end to the chaos was
Lucy.
indeed not a human. This thing, I had no idea what it was. It claimed to be a machine which never stops working. It laughed at the limitations of our brains and the metaphysical mistakes we make ceaselessly. But it did solve the most urgent issue. A system was built to tackle storm-relevant emergencies after it took charge of Laplace. The first measure it adopted was contacting all the existing branches of the Foundations at the time to confirm the scale of available manpower. Then it built observation stations all over the globe to find if there were any other regions immune to the storm. After that, numerous offices
Is she a
responsible
robot
for
or a
deducing the cause
cyborg?
of the storm
Like,
were
was she
established.
human first?
Even though there were countless disagreements during the research,
Guess I'll find
at
out.
least we had taken the first step.
No, this is where I'm at. I don't know
handed in
anything
the
else.
application to take part in this mission, determined to get rid of the fog in my mind.
Story-wise, at least.
In 1986, I was assigned to the office in Egypt. All my friends came to the dock to see me off, because we knew it could be the final goodbye. Even though we were equipped with the emergency communication devices issued by Laplace, we were still not clear when the storm would assault us, or where we could hide nearby. What really scared me was not the threat to my life, but the possibility of dying ignorant.
Hmm.
Then I boarded the ship to Alexandria from Athens. And that was when I met her.
Oh, okay.
Now when I recall it, it was almost impossible to ignore that group of arcanists on the ship. There were about a dozen of them, all in eccentric stitched robes. They were followers of a strange school which mixes arcanum and mathematics.
Hey.
I talked to them. No matter how much that conversation bewilders me now, I was more excited than confused at the time. They also survived the storm in 1996, and they noticed the unusual changes taking place in the world as well. That means I actually met another group of survivors from the Millennium.
From the Millennium. Ah! She stops turning the pages.
Wait. A school of arcanists who survived the storm?
It is good to... Yeah, I feel like if you were a longtime player, like, re-listening to some of this stuff would be pretty cool. Because it's kind of like the origin story, almost. In the middle of this whole story. It's throwing in, like, the origin. Sort of. Not necessarily the origin. I don't know, how would you put that? A prequel? The Tower of Babel, Part 3.
A mixture of arcanum and mathematics. The ship on the Mediterranean. Unbelievable. Our investigator actually met this group of arcanists who believed in numbers, and even left such a precious record down on paper.
Does it mean we are close to being helpful to Virgin?
The chief assistant of the monitor assistant lets out a tear.
Certainly, it's what we deserve for all the efforts today. But why did they leave such an important report in the reference room storing unnecessary information? Did they misput it here after the chaos of the storm?
Or did they try to hide it? Putting her confusion aside, Matilda returns to the next page of the record.
Among them, the most easygoing one was Hugh. He was an engineer as well as an arcanist. We shared the same preference for human technology, and that became our common topic. Hugh was in his 30s, red-haired,
It's true.
cheeks sunken, and deeply depressed due to some kind of eye disease. He was a decent man, with a prudent attitude, working at a desk most of the time. He reminded me of the imperial miniature painting artists in the Sultan's palace. Most of them ended up blind after toiling for their life. He showed me the picture of his daughter. I don't have children, but I could feel his happiness as a father. Although I got along well with Hugh, he seemed quite out of place among that group, which was actually led by her.
Her.
I don't know what words to use to describe her. She was like a meteor shower, a tempest, or an unreasonable catastrophe itself. Her existence was just like her name. It was simple, yet implied a lot. Please forgive me for my cowardice. Even now, I don't have the courage to write down her name, if one would call that a name. In fact, she was quite a kind, warm-hearted person. Among all the unregistered arcanists I've met, she was one of the nicest ones towards the Foundation. She looked young, even though I heard she had a daughter too. Besides, she still possessed the innocence of a child, and that kind of excitement exclusive for genius. That's right. It seemed the whole world was like a sparkling toy to her. Our communication was heart-stirring at the beginning. Both of us were eager to find out what was happening, like two shipwrecked victims grappling at each other on the sea. But I didn't have the slightest idea what she was talking about, actually. The problem was not the typical communication issues between humans and arcanists. I was sure the language we used didn't pose any obstacles, but still I couldn't understand any words of hers. I would believe that one is highly intelligent if one can name all the factors of 11,567 without thinking. But what this one said was illogical nonsense which no one could ever imagine. She claimed that there is a world of numbers, above all else, where the non-physical essences of all things exist in the form of timeless, absolute, unchangeable ideas, and that the physical world where the time flows
I turned
is
on
nothing but an
or off the AC.
which has never been real or true. And that's why the chaos in this world is not worth any attention, and we should focus on what happened to the supreme existence. What an utter disaster combining modern maths with ancient superstition. I saw another hubristic arcanist pretending to be the prophet by reliving Platonism.
Oh boy, we're getting
I don't
fancy.
even bother to mention the balderdash on soul numbers. Even the New Age movement could use some of her absurdity. But that was not yet the end. She even claimed to be aware of the exact year when the next reverse would happen. But when I asked her about it, seriously,
Right?
she said,
Exactly. They're like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking
My
about, but this is what
apologies.
she said.
I've made an oath.
I shall and only shall reveal the demonstration to people who have their own soul numbers.
I'm not sure whether she was making fun of me or being serious, but I had this feeling that she was eager to tell me how she was granted the secret through a moment of afflatus. It seemed she just saw through the laws behind all things instead of finding them through logical deduction.
Can't you see it? It is right in front of you.
After I expressed my inability to comprehend her words 30 times, she finally gave up and proffered regrets. I'd rather take it as a new kind of humiliation. What really irritated me about her, however, was her contempt towards science and all the scientific research methods. As far as I'm concerned, the value of a theory lies in its reliability, universality, and generalizability. Our pursuit of the truth has laid the foundation of modern science, allowing us to change the world. Yet, in her eyes, the value of a theory lies in its beauty. I talked to her on the current situation, and I told her how we would save lives and preserve the hard-earned technology of mankind if we could find the pattern of the storm. It was of course not an easy thing to do and would take enormous manpower, so I asked her sincerely to join the Foundation. Yet again she responded with contempt. She believed they would only become another military squad of the Foundation's.
Darling, maths are beautiful for their uselessness. That's why it remains noble and graceful in this sordid world, despite you humans' reckless action of using it to calculate ballistic.
Voice doesn't feel familiar to me
She
yet.
turned down my invitation and left an unfairly negative comment on our storm observation project.
The observation stations you built are destined to be toppled because their basis is the fragile world that follows the laws of physics. The efforts you've made are like nails on a sand beach, which will only be carried away by the next tidal wave.
But I said, perhaps our efforts are in vain, but someone has to do it. We will try every corner of the beach before making the conclusion that the world we are living in is already a hopeless ruin.
What a pragmatic, rigorous, and rational speech. But dear, the world is a hopeless ruin.
The conversation ended in disagreement. I don't know why arcanists hate the world so much. Perhaps the reason is they have never been truly accepted. To this day, I still remember her venomous conclusion.
The world built on past experiences has ended. In your words, which you used to mock us, why not embrace the reality?
Yet about the gnosis which she deeply believed in, and the so-called prophecy she made through numbers, she had never given any proofs or details that showed rigorous logic. And the reason for her inactions was an oath she had made before some stone?
Oh.
Therefore I believed her words were only the nonsense of a lunatic. When we first met, I thought she was different from all those psychos, who mistook the malfunction of their prefrontal cortex.
Different from all those
God.
psychos.
But they turned out to be the same. In the name of human sense, I swore everything she said was absurd and ridiculous to me. Until...
Until?
Madame Z said the arcanists on that island are all named after numbers, because they have a strong belief that numbers are the essence of their souls. The investigator wouldn't write down her name. Is it because of the conflict between their beliefs?
Matilda turns to the next page eagerly, as if checking a novel bought in class by some undisciplined student. But the reality welcomes her with an empty page.
Huh?
Her name was a number,
all?
that's why, right? And they're like, that's not a name. Maybe because the story ends with an abrupt stop or the hope that she just raised dashed down. Matilda clenches her handkerchief with a sweaty palm.
Submitting such an unfinished report would only cause problems for the reviewers and evaluators. But this investigator didn't even write down their name.
Don't worry, Ms. Burnish. I'm familiar with this situation. Every time, after the brave Typhon defeats Jupiter, he returns to the Auto Island. But each time we twist the ear of Mr. Glassbox, Typhon will show up again and again.
The fuck is she talking about?
Ms. Moisson told me the ear is the key to bringing back our hope.
Wait, don't tell me you are talking about the shows on the mechanical television?
Ignoring the monitor system confusion, the enthusiastic young lady starts looking around for the ear that carries all her hope.
Stop, Miss Sotheby. Please, take a seat on the cushion and listen to me carefully. This is a detailed report written by a formal investigator of the Foundations, not some TV show full of cliffhangers. That means we will definitely find the rest somewhere.
Oh, I see. Must be a Coco treant who took away the other part of the book. Usually, they will be attracted by Luna Fixer, and by following their traces, we'll find their lairs in the stable.
You mean
What?
someone took it away? That's highly possible. Data loss is not allowed in the Foundation, especially under the Monitor Assistance Management.
I think Sotheby's more confusing than the
Must
numbers people
prepare
sometimes.
Luna Fixer. Don't forget their favorite jigging magical beans. I don't have those materials with me right now, but I can write to them. It only takes a month.
The disconcerting conversation's clearly too much for this rigorous monitor assistant.
We don't need that.
After taking a deep breath, Matilda takes out her crystal orb. An ambitious smile spreads over her face.
You perfectly accomplished the task from me when you found this valuable report. Well done, Assistant Sotheby. Now it's time for the great Matilda to show a little bit of her greatness.
Oh no. No, I need more coffee. Yeah, right? Okay. Oh, this was one of those speaking to the voice things. And the paper which claimed to have recorded the locations where the storm might happen, yes. The one with the butterfly-like drawings was retained for data comparison. Yeah. The voice is intense. I need to replay all of those in a row and try to make sense of it. There's no moonlight during the daytime. Did I play the event? I did play the story from the last patch, yes. I did the full event story. I know, I don't want to play the whole thing though. I didn't play that for all of these other playthroughs, so it kind of is out of context a little bit. Not out of context, because it has context, but it speaks in riddles anyway, right? I feel like those are like something you just need to like binge them all in a row and then maybe they'll make sense together.
Judging from the omen, it's at the northwest, the beginning and the ending of the ring, where the
Yeah, the
wall
ending was
reflects
weird.
repeatedly.
But someone kind of spoiled it and they said it was Matilda's mom. Which still doesn't make sense, so I'm still curious. Alright, Sorry. Holding the crystal ore with both hands, Matilda keeps adjusting her position while trying to figure out the vague vision in the sphere. Sotheby follows her with a curious face.
The northwest of SPDM. This one is straightforward. The beginning and the ending of the ring is not a problem either.
It is a big spoiler, right? But it doesn't make sense out of context, so
exactly
how that happens, what's happening, we still gotta figure that out, right?
Here we are.
It is a big spoiler, I guess, but it doesn't have any context, so to me, I'm like, what? Okay, huh? How? What? Who? When? Why? Where? How is that? How is someone's mother? What was it? Like a glowing crystal? What the hell was it? A vase. I think. I don't even remember what the object was. So yeah, there's lots to figure out even if I know what that thing is somehow, kinda not really.
But where the wall reflects repeatedly, does that mean a closed room with mirrors?
Oh, really?
The mirror in the display center is a huge kinescope in the wall. And the one in the airtight laboratory is a crystal clear observation window. The one in the rehab center? No. The mirrors in the operation room have been replaced with curved electronic screens of steel structure after that xenopilot made a scene. So, where is the answer?
She slowly turns around, trying to find the perfect angle for a clearer vision. A white figure storms away from her side, almost bumping off the orb she tightly holds.
Hey! You just hit me! Shouldn't you apologize?
Where did you come from, dork? Wasting my time?
The man groans a curse and hastily leaves his place with his hands covering his nose and mouth.
What? How could he say that? That's rude!
That gentleman doesn't look well. He's covering his face. His nose is running with purple liquid. Oh dear. Did he drink a whole bottle of purple Chrysandra juice? He needs treatment immediately. Oh,
yeah, just skip the chapter stories if I'm not updated. It's not a big deal. I didn't...
He ran towards the rehab center.
All of them require me to be up to date. So it is right now, but I'm not playing it. I'm just skipping it until I get there. I mean, I can't do chapter 9 until I get to chapter 9, and I'm not at chapter 9, am I? So it is what it is. I just story skip for the things that I know are spoilers. And I just collect my rewards, and we could watch them later. Or when they come back around again, or I will forget about it, but it's fine. The hasty man has disappeared completely. The little incident doesn't raise anyone's attention.
The rehab center has all the facilities and medicines he needs. He will be properly treated. But why is he wearing the uniform of Laplace? And where's the receptionist here?
The lobby of the Scientific Computing Center welcomes them with a deafening silence. The counter is no longer busy with people, but with an auto-recognition device instead.
Does everyone go to the weekend party night?
Probing around the counter, the temporary investigator seems determined to dig out a party gramophone from somewhere.
Absolutely not. The researchers here are too busy to do that.
Yeah, right.
The computing center is working on the most urgent and vital project, the research on the immunity to the storm. We should not disturb them unless it's an emergency. So please stop calling the office and put down the telephone, Miss Sotheby. This is not the ear of a tea kettler, and it won't take you to any twist balls.
The monitor assistant can't stand the difference in their terminology anymore.
Je sais qu'il est débutant, mais quand même, il est trop bizarre. Guide new members with caution and patience. Trigger their afflatus at the right time. Oh, j'avoue que Verten a remporté une victoire temporaire sur ça.
Her mumbling is interrupted by the owner and cheerful footsteps.
Miss Boonish, I just read the map on the counter. You mentioned where the wall reflects repeatedly. Does the vision refer to the racquetball center here? You see, its icon is a bouncing ball.
Let me take a look. Found it! This is really the right direction. Next, empty boxes, glasswares, and copper pieces. Looks like our destination has piles of metal.
The vision in the orb is growing clearer, proving that they're heading in the right direction. It eases Matilda's upset mind.
Good job, Assistant Sotheby. I have to say, I might have gone a bit too hard on you. You are more capable than I thought. Thanks to your prompt reminder, we have saved quite some time.
Sotheby is glad to help.
The young lady gladly hops along the way while she doesn't give up peering at Matilda's crystal orb.
Miss Boonish, since you're such a talented diviner, why don't you just divine the reason for the storm with your inherited arcanum ability?
If only it were that
According
easy.
to Ms. Moisson, the reason still remains a mystery. If the crystal orb can reveal its truth, everything will be much easier for Vertin and her team.
Divine the reason for the storm?
The brave assumption astonishes the great diviner. She's almost drops the orb.
That's
She
impossible
almost
for
drops the orb.
sure. It's a typical mistake of laymen to believe one can see everything through divination. You are an expert on potions and arcane creatures, but you have little knowledge on other subjects. Haven't you received any systematic education on arcanum?
Education on arcanum? I'm of course well educated in arcanum, with Ms. Moisson as my tutor, and my arcane friends such as Typhon from the Auto Island, Jupiter, and...
Alright, enough!
No. She shakes her head, stopping her from listing another name from an arcane creature that nobody's ever heard of.
I have understood the fact that the education you have received is not systematical, or say incomplete, imperfect, inelegant. But don't worry, because you are talking to the kind-hearted Matilda. She will spend her valuable time to make it up for you.
Begrudgingly, though. The great monitor assistant clears her throats and starts recalling what she learned when she was 12.
In fact, the system of arcanum knowledge is not completely separated from that of human science. For example, the modern pharmacy and chemistry actually originated from the experiments of potions and alchemy in the ancient times. They developed into two different systems because arcanists focused more on the knowledge ignored by scientists, which is gnosis. The knowledge we learn from divination is exactly under this category.
Wow.
Sotheby's eyes light up with amazement. Matilda takes out her notebook and draws a brief sketch in it.
Let me fill you in with more details. If two human researchers test Snell's law at two different places at the same time without making any mistakes, they will always reach the same conclusion. Or if two potionists use the same ingredients and follow the same formula to make the cough cough stop stop potion separately, their products will also have similar effects. However, if two diviners respectively perform divination on the same thing, they will probably see totally different visions. Because what the divination shows is merely omens. The interpretation of these omens is in fact a kind of subjective deduction based on the reality, and there is no such thing as a standard answer. Even if the two diviners draw the same conclusion, it is more of a coincidence than a result that implies generalizability. So diviners never check the accuracy of their divination through the review of peers. And this is an example of gnosis. Unlike human sense, it is unique and possesses no universality.
She puts it away and wiggles her index finger.
In other words, even if someone finds out a reason for the storm through divination, they can't have other diviners verify it, because 100 different diviners will give out 100 different conclusions. The scene will be even busier than a concert at Music Verein. That being said, the more possible result we get from the divination is nothing. Divination cannot bring knowledge which the diviners have never learned. The divination of such world-class knowledge, as complicated as the reason for the storm, can only be performed by world-class diviners. We may find one or two diviners like that if time continues to be reversed. Like Nostradamus. But he lived in the 16th century. Besides, even Nostradamus is not always right.
But Miss Buaniche is! Thanks to your divination, we're getting closer and closer to that report, right?
You are right! Finding items, interpreting dreams, and making simple prophecies. All these things are just a breeze for the bright and clever Matilda. But inquiring about the storm is beyond my ability, and it will only bring misfortune. I will never make such a stupid mistake.
Matilda regains her radiant appearance.
In fact, this half of the report and the handwriting of the author are perfect divination media. Besides, our target is not far away from us, and I'm familiar with the surroundings, which have made things much easier than usual. It is true diviners can improve the accuracy and controllability of their gnosis by practicing repeatedly, holding the rituals properly, and making targeted preparations. But that still doesn't mean the result will be absolutely accurate.
Sotheby nods. No one can tell from her face whether she truly understands that announcement or not. Do any of us? Reading the vision in the orb, Matilda leads Sotheby around another corner nimbly.
The report says that person who mentioned the School of Numbers claimed she was enlightened about the year of the next storm. Is that also by divination?
I am not sure what kind of arcane skills they used, but numbers are indeed a kind of omen too. I am not talking about the specific knowledge of mathematics, but the numbers themselves, because they are even more abstract than images and languages as kind of symbol. Even so, there is no way for us to verify this prophet, unless it really comes true. That is also why it takes almost nothing to spread a prophecy. My mother told me many people in the outside world write to the Foundation every day, claiming to be prophets who can predict the doomsday and that requesting unemployment benefits.
The Tuesday? Unemployment benefits? Oh my! The outside world is far more wonderful than I thought. How fascinating.
Negative things, and she's like, this is wonderful.
Is even greater than I expected.
You bet! Wait, did you mean I was not the greatest?
They have reached the end of the corridor. Matilda puts away the orb and looks at the wooden door with no sign on the front of her. This is where the vision leads them to the next room with the racquetball center. Or next to the room with the racquetball
Miss
center.
Sotheby. Now, this is the moment to verify the result of my divination.
Yeah, she doesn't know what those words even mean. Yeah, it's the innocence of it. It's cute. All right. The Lament in Silence, Part 5. It sounds like it. The light is dim here. Archive cabinets and unorganized files are everywhere, punctured by strange devices in the place style. It seems like an abandoned utility room.
Where are we? Lost and found at the racquetball center?
She waves away the dust and struggles her way along the toppling cabinets.
The orb showed copper pieces. We need to find something that seems to be locked, but is actually not. Found it! Nothing can stop the genius, Matilda.
She finds what she's looking for in a rusty drawer. Obviously, the report has been here for a long time. The corners curl because of the damp air. Luckily, the writing is still recognizable.
The trip to Egypt didn't go smoothly. The ship was hit by a common storm at sea. We were lost in the fog after that. Completely off course.
Making me dizzy.
And something emerged from the water.
I don't like the shaky.
Since the first storm, the Foundation has received frequent sightings of arcane creatures which should have been extinct in history. I had no idea what I was shooting at, even after I emptied the clip. And I didn't know what to do. Those arcanists brought us back on course. She names the precise longitude and latitude of our location.
Yeah.
Even without using the sextant in the spare cabin.
I feel like I'm getting motion sickness watching it, yes.
She did that. Perhaps the world did look different in her eyes. Then when I was about to step on a random plank on the ship, she suddenly dragged me back. I thought it was only an inappropriate joke. But the next second, the plank broke. I was stunned, and asked her how she saw that coming. She just answered me as if we were talking about the weather.
Because that plank is deformed like a rhombus.
I was confused. Where
Yeah,
is
I'm
the
jealous.
rhombus? She laughed.
The rhombus can't be seen with eyes. You shall close your eyes, hearken to the teaching of the Supreme Existence, and seize the moment of afflatus.
Of course, I didn't see anything. Nor did I understand what the moment of afflatus was. Perhaps it's just another privilege enjoyed by arcanists, just like their right to be lunatic. Nevertheless, she reached the correct conclusion in a completely wrong way. Is it really possible? Anyway, she saved my life. But that was not enough to settle the differences between us. She remained rejective to working with the Foundation, and I finally gave up on the attempt to persuade them. My mission on that trip was not to make contact with them. Besides, what we needed was builders of the storm observation system, not some liars who would only make things worse. As for the shelter they took from the storm, she wouldn't say a word, as if she were dealing with a spy who pried to find out the deepest secrets of the Arcanists. In the end, Hugh mediated between us. He gave me an address in Istanbul to which I could send the letters to contact them. After that, I spent more than half a year in the Egypt office. Things were even worse there than I expected. Some have gone missing after the storm. The people who were supposed to be in the Egypt office, according to the member list stored in the headquarters in 1985, were not there when I arrived. The situation could be caused by the limitations of the transmission of paper-based materials, or because the computer was not yet popularized to every corner of the globe at the time. One minor mistake of a copyist could develop into a huge difference. Besides that, the chaos inside Laplace was an even worse issue. I learned that someone published the paper Samplings of Global and Regional Chaotic Energy Route Changes in the name of Butterfly of Lorentz. Apparently, they secretly used our sampling sites, yet their research direction and conclusion were radically different from Laplace's. The researchers equally divided into two schools, one sticking to the human technology they have focused on, and one changing their direction to Arcanum. At the time, it was still too early to decide which direction was right, without sufficient experimental data. But many already believed that if time continued to be reversed, human technology would only keep falling into decline, while Arcanum, which relies on personal ability, would rise again. It's true that Gnosis cannot be copied, verified by an independent third party, or comprehended through reasoning. Its nature decides that it cannot lay the foundation of science or be popularized to every ordinary person. It takes solid marble to build a castle, not slippery sand.
Yeah, that sounded
Even
familiar.
So, what harm will it do to rely on Arcanum?
I don't remember
the
how.
underlying logic of all things has become unreasonable. Before the disagreement was settled, the storm in 1987 was predicted. We were ordered to return to the headquarters 24 hours before its arrival.
One of the
But the
nodes.
prediction was not accomplished by Laplace. A captive from Manus Vindictae names the precise date of that storm. Our enemies, those lunatic xenophobes, valuing only pure blood, made it further than we did. Yes, we built observation stations, we made countless deductions, we developed multiple simulation models. We made efforts, we sacrificed life, we did whatever we could. Yet the result was that we didn't find any other regions immune to the storm, except the headquarters and another one in North America. In the end, 95% of the branch members were reversed, 87.9% of the equipment was destroyed, and 100% of our predictions failed.
Ew.
In conclusion, our endeavor brought no achievements. As for the captive from Manus Vindictae, the delirium patient who claims that oracles flowed under his parietal bone, when we asked him how he learns the precise date of the storm, he burst into laughter.
Can't you hear it? Has God left you behind when he spread his grace?
Oh boy.
Then he smashed his own skull
Hello,
with a
Bobby.
handcuff. Yes, there was no doubt. He was an incurable lunatic. But his insane nonsense was exactly the reason we survived the storm again. No matter how unreasonable or illogical it was, or how much a lie it sounded like. So we'd better believe we shouldn't go out in black today because the fish is swimming in the water. We'd better believe in the existence of the non-physical, everlasting, transcendent world where everyone's soul is a number. We'd better believe in the supreme existence which caused the disorder of time by merely casting its shadow. That means the life of individuals means nothing more than rubbish, and the world is but an imperfect ruin, where only the chosen ones will pass the trial, where the rest will be eliminated by the rain. How am I supposed to do that? Finally, I made up my mind to write to her. I didn't expect her to answer my questions. All I wanted was to confirm if she had survived that storm. For the sake of our peaceful talk about the rhombus. Yet what I heard from them was a simple announcement of her death, with only 2 words. She died.
Who is
Then
she
it
and
burned
her?
and turned to ashes
Or was it not
in a
anyone?
second. On the same day, the first and only timekeeper who just took office, the
Part of the story.
12-year-old child, returned alone from the storm. She told us the time in the outside world at that point, and that was how I knew she was right.
It is right in front of you.
But if there is a God, why are you playing such a prank on us? After we had suffered from the collapse of all the existing orders and the failure
You
of
just
all the
said
great
like her
laws.
as in Burton is her now.
If this is what she calls a glimpse of the supreme existence, the moment of a flatus, do you have to present it in such a cruel way? The last 2 digits in the number of the year after that storm were exactly her name and her number. 77.
Hmm? The report ends here. 2 digits, that's the full stop of the story.
Incroyable! Incroyable! C'est vrai! Quelqu'un a vraiment fait cette prophétie! Ertin and Soneto will be thrilled to know what we found! Well done, Miss Sotheby! You performed as well as a formal investigator! We need to submit this report to your instructor immediately!
Yeah. That's how it always is. The hindsight. Grabbing the papers tightly, Matilda turns around with excitement. Sotheby isn't the person standing there.
What are you doing in other people's rooms?
The report is snatched away.
This is my personal item. You have no rights to take it. Please leave immediately.
Personal item? This is a precious record that should have been submitted to the Foundation. According to Administration and Regulations for Dispatch Personnel, St. Pavlov Foundation Decree number 259, every member of the Foundation, when acting as a field investigator, is required to create a comprehensive investigation report of all their actions and promptly submit it.
And they are obliged to ensure the authenticity, objectivity, and impartiality of the report. No personal bias is allowed in the content. If you have read this report, miss, you should know that it's not even qualified to be filed.
But this is an emergency!
The Storm Reformation Act is still new to her. She can't think of any articles to support her point of view. She racks her brain for words, but before she makes it, the other person starts talking with one of his eyebrows raised.
I can tell from your uniform, you are a student of SPDM, or... This is Laplace. Do you have your guardian's approval to leave the school, Miss Underage Student?
Approval? I don't need that. I am not a student. You are talking to the exceptionally promoted monitor assistant of SPDM. Here is my ID.
She holds her ID card high as if she's holding the flag of liberty. But she is ignored. The adult walks directly to the swivel chair in the room and pays attention to an educational toy on the table.
Did you just ignore a formal administrator of the Foundation? This monitor assistant will report every misbehavior of yours. Every little bit of them.
I don't like Matilda at all. She's so annoying. Wordless, the monitor assistant can be more embarrassed in her life. She looked around just to find Sotheby. Although Sotheby's kind of annoying but charming. I didn't like Sotheby at first. Then I'm like, okay, she's kind of cute. She's sweet at least.
Miss Moisson, we found that report here. The great Miss Buonation and I discovered some important information. I came to you and Madame Z immediately after we read it. Miss Buonish, why are you confronting Mr. Chair?
Sotheby stands at the door, her head is tilted. 2 adults are behind her.
I didn't expect to see the second half of that report here in your room, Adler.
This time, the owner of the voice can't be ignored. The swivel chair unwillingly turns around.
Don't call me that, friend. Why not just call me Enigma? Just like everyone else. Relax. I know nicknames mean no harm. But I don't understand. How is a report filled with meaningless words of any concern to you, Madam Z?
It provides information about the Arcanist Group 13 is now dealing with. If possible, please give it to me.
Of course. How can I turn down a request from Constantine's chief of staff? Take it away. I hope you don't mind the mold on it.
The researcher is seated in the chair, casually hands out the report. Madame Z smiles. She seems glad to see that Enigma still has the energy to be sarcastic. But clearly the monitor assistant can't tolerate such blatant violation of staff regulations.
Please pay attention to your manners and do not bring disgrace to the computing center, Mr. Rude.
Miss Moisson taps her on the shoulder and quickly looks in the direction of the door.
Ms. Buanish? Ms. Sotheby? You've done a great job. I'm sure what you have found would be of great help to Timekeeper. And I will report your active performance in this mission to SPDM as soon as possible, Miss Buanish. We need to further analyze the files you found. The first on the scene could provide more detailed information. Let's get out of here.
Contribution exceptionnelle!
The keywords give this young monitor assistant a giddy pleasure. She can't help but ignore everything else Miss Moisson says.
Oh la la, exceptionnel! No, no. Calme-toi, Matilda. I didn't accomplish it alone. Assistant Sotheby also played a significant role. Hooray!
A loud cheer interrupts Matilda's mumbling.
That is to say, Miss Burnish, we can start preparing the balloons and flowers for the twist ball.
Speaking of which, this monitor assistant still needs to think about it. By the way, just call me Matilda.
She struggles to get out of Sotheby's passionate hug. The great joy brought by Miss Moisson takes her actions clumsy. Cheering and discussing, the girls leave the room. Madame Z carefully puts the valuable report away. The researcher swivels the chair again and hides himself in the fortress made of dusty items. He talks, though cabinets and the equipment, in a slow manner.
There will be no
True.
advance in human technology. You think so?
Oh.
Even the Madame Z has given up on the study of theoretical physics and become a politician.
No. I've never thought of that.
She turns to the door with a faint smile. Click. The door is closed. Alright, the final part of this little inner story, this inner chapter. Still the same day. New direction. Part 6. Yes, okay. Man, I need more coffee. The dramas have ended. Oh wait, I need to hit autoplay. All is profoundly hushed in this cold and dark room. The researcher sighs and starts settling with messy papers and dusty tools on the table. Why is it mistaken for a utility room? Is it because of the mess? Metallic footsteps come from the outside of
I am astonished by the fact that you are interacting with others.
Lucy! Another trespasser.
They broke in.
The robot in charge of the place's scientific computing center shrugs and refuses to make any comments. She already heard all the information she needs.
If it was a complaint that you were making, you know it is within your rights to submit an interdepartmental complaint.
There is no node. Was there? No, I wasn't reading the node. I said I wasn't reading the nodes. I haven't read the nodes once this entire...
I didn't file it because it is a report
thingies.
Against the rules. Why bother to submit such a log full of personal feelings and emotional
I
behaviors
ignored them all the
to
other
our
times.
great,
I gotta be better.
rigorous foundation?
Is that so? I am gratified to find that
Look
you
at it
still have
after.
some sense.
I too am gratified that
We
you
don't see the
still
nodes
have no
until
idea
after
that
the
I was being
chapters
sarcastic.
anyway, so... You don't see them, they don't populate for that chapter till you're done with the chapter, so. At least, if there's a node for this chapter, if that's what you mean. Or this part, I mean. But no, I haven't read them at all. Just like today I looked at the one briefly just to see if there was something amongst it, but I haven't read any of the nodes from all the other playthroughs. At least during these live streams, I mean. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they just don't make any sense anyway. So, at least I don't think, even after doing the chapters, then clicking them, they don't mean that much. I feel like it's one of those things that you can, once you're done with all the story in general and you go back and look at them, then they make sense maybe? But they definitely mostly don't even make sense in the moment so far. But I didn't purposefully read too much of them for the sake of spoiling. Up until this point, after chapter 4.
Oh.
But before that, they didn't make any sense ever. Like, okay, here's some.
Never mind.
There might be some interesting Easter eggs.
What do you want from me?
Chapter 9
Madam
ones are,
Lucy?
yeah. Okay, good to know. Yeah.
You went all the way to this dusty, rundown place so hurriedly that you even forgot to put on that pathetic mask. This is not because of some old files, I assume.
The faceless robot inclines its head in agreement.
Certainly. I hope you can be the cryptographer of the Manus Vindictae's ritual. You are still the best.
So when it comes to like the nodes and everything, I will be, once we're done with chapter 6, one more chapter, I will be live, or at the end of the chapter, I'll be playing and doing the nodes and doing everything at the same time. For real this time, I think. I hope. Last time I said I was going to do that for chapter 5, after chapter 5, but I ended up skipping through chapter 6, only to find that every battle was a spoiler with story. So, I mean, maybe what I could do is, before I go into chapter 6, go look at the past nodes. Yeah, like maybe once you finished it and then you're like, it all pieces it together. Maybe at the end we can look back at the nodes. That might make more sense. But while even going along, it doesn't, most of the stuff early on didn't mean like anything to me, honestly. The first few chapters. Maybe they just were too poorly translated, like a lot of the text, I don't know, but yeah. I know that there was a really big spoiler in the Showdown in Chinatown nodes, so I didn't read those during the point where someone said it was a spoiler, but that's about it.
You are asking me, a human, to decode the ritual of a pureblood arcanist.
Okay, Enigma is a human.
I don't see how I'll be helpful to this project.
You cannot evaluate your own level of being of value, Adler.
Adler and Enigma. Why are we calling him two names? The researcher unfolding more dusty folders without raising his eyes.
Well, you evaluate our value. Test us in experiments you set. Prove the hypotheses by exhaustion, make mistakes, and start all over again. You repeat the process like a roaring locomotive that pulls the research center out of this chaotic disaster. You question not what is ahead of you, nor whether the path you've taken will be regular or easy. The only idea you planted into your little brain is to move forward, to improve.
Thank you for your compliment. Credit goes to everyone.
That was not even a... Ismirgar. Guess you agree. A life without creativity is not worth living. And that's the life that I wake up to every day. I'm no longer the person you thought you came here for. I'll never be able to combine human technology and Arcanum. And I'll never comprehend even the slightest part of it. I am useless to you.
He squares up the paper on the desk in a grumpy manner, making a huge...
I don't expect someone made of tin to understand a human mind. But I beg of you, leave me alone.
The robot ignores his emotional speech and keeps talking.
The work of analyzing the masks of Manus Vindicte did not go well. A side effect occurs in the researchers, and it is getting worse. The isolation wards on the basement level are overwhelmed.
What a scene. Have you aborted the experiment?
Not yet. We have conducted the Arcanum imaging experiment on the masks, and found a component which also exists in the raindrops of the storm. But knowing what it is composed of does not help explain how it works. What we're looking for is the original ritual that the Manus cast on them.
You are trying to figure out one's career planning from one's physical examination report. I wonder why it is not working. Even if somehow you manage to find the original ritual, you still need a proper environment to test it, which is the outside world with a coming storm.
The researcher turns to her, wisdom and sarcasm glow in his eyes.
That's why we can't tell if we're getting results. Even if we had the right ritual, proper permission from the Foundation to travel, and strong-minded volunteer subjects, experiments performed in the Ivory Tower won't succeed because...
An experiment about the storm can only be done in a storm. Glad to see your brain is not rusty yet. It only took you 3 sentences to draw the conclusion which took the seminar a week to reach. That proves you are capable of the project.
The robot in charge puts the document on the table.
The history maintenance team has forecast different critical points of this storm.
Greta and
Foundation
Marcus.
investigators are on their way. If Manus Vindicte still plans to accelerate the storm, like what they have done in 1929, there will be a high possibility that their people will show up at the transformation point of history and society, also known as the critical point of time, the center of the storm. Your sister, Greta Hoffman,
She's there.
is also one of the investigators.
They didn't mention her
I
yet,
have
but
no
I saw her.
interest in any Hoffmans other than myself. We have different perspectives.
It is okay. I am just here to inform you that if any of the investigators successfully send the information of the ritual back, the research about the immunity of the storm will be conducted immediately. Take your time and be mentally prepared. But once the storm alert is issued, we only have 24 hours to verify the feasibility of the ritual. I wish you will be fully prepared by then.
The robot gets out of the room, leaving him no right to choose. Her feet crash into the floor, making a steely sound. Enigma's eyes flicker toward the document. The face on the top is familiar to him. He pulls out the drawer and takes a scrap of paper. This is the last code he didn't give anyone.
One thing is for sure now. The age of humans has come to an end.
Oh boy. The age of humans has come to an end, says the robot? Oh no, there's no node there. You just meant the other node? Is that what you were talking about before? No, I wasn't gonna play all those. Hell no. That's its own story. Play all of those weird, creepy voice things in a row. It was Greta, it said. Or do you mean something else? Who it was signed by? Greta Hoffman? Or do you mean something else? Yeah. Or is she the narrator, not the robot? Wait, now I'm confused. I thought Lucy was the robot. Okay. Okay. So who's Greta Hoffman has been mentioned before, but it doesn't ring a bell. I don't know. Not yet, Hour of Frost. I didn't say I was going off yet. But soon. No, I just meant I'm not going through all the random narrator nodes in general, period. Like, until there's a... If you guys can tell me, do they end these weird... The creepy voice that's a man that eventually becomes a woman? Is there, like... Does that keep continuing? Because I thought that would be one of those things that once I'm done, I play all of them. Yeah, it's not the creepy dude anymore. It's a woman, an older woman. That's been a while. It keeps going. Oh god. To me, it's meant nothing so far except I've played them because they make you play them, and then there's been little mentions that I guess nod to story stuff, but I don't know. It's like most of the beginning was just so vague and speaking in riddles kind of stuff that I don't give a crap about personally. I like lore, but I don't want to dissect riddles. That is not of interest to me. You tell me a cool story, I'm gonna follow it, but I'm not gonna overly analyze what the deep meaning behind this stupid riddle is. Kind of a thing. I'm not going to. It's not my interest when it comes to stories. I'm not gonna be like, this sentence probably means this. I just don't care that much about that. Like that, someone else can tell me if it's really that important. I like lore, but I don't like when it gets overly deep philosophical. That's not of an interesting story to me anymore. That I'm just like, I like all these points connecting in this weird world and all this, but I'm not interested in riddles. Like, that's just, no. The voice changes when we experience a storm? Oh yeah, so far I've only came across 2 voices. The creepy man voice, that's really good. Really interesting one for sure. It kind of reminds me of a couple of characters like from Honkai Star Rail and Genshin with the voice actor. But then the old lady is still the voice that I think I've heard so far. The one that's part of like the 3 Doors content as well. I think that's the right thing, right? I like a mystery and I like an interesting story, but yeah, it's the narrator stuff I could do without. That's what I'm saying. Let's see, what other prisoner? Okay, this is another thing. See, like, I remember this one. Who's the child? We're talking about, let's see. This was a voice one. Or all the nodes, no, the nodes aren't just the voice, it's everything. But a lot of this stuff, like, some of these records don't really feel like there's anything important here. Except helping you maybe have a timeline of events to, like, know where you're at in this, I don't know. But something like this doesn't feel like, I don't know. Obviously everything's here for a reason. But yeah, I don't know. For Hugh in 77? Not really. Unless it's like Verton's parents or something, because they made the girl kind of look like Verton, the woman. That would be maybe the only... Because they talked about them and then they immediately switched to Verton after talking, but I don't know if that was just a coincidence. But Yeah, that's the problem, is it's so vague in the beginning. I feel like, yeah, that's like you said, it's hindsight kind of stuff. It's like maybe it's just best to read this after you know how everything connects later on. Maybe not even at the end of each chapter. Maybe it's like after, like maybe now if I read, if I read the nodes from chapter 1, does it make more sense? Maybe? Like, do some of these make more? Do they connect? I mean, they make them for a reason, so I assume they have intention. But there's definitely ones. I know that there's some huge spoilery ones overall. And I've read them all in the beginning, but I feel like it didn't make sense. Like, none of them, I don't remember anything that's like, oh, that was so cool to learn this thing, like, from this one piece of paper. Oh, here's Lawrence. We mentioned him again. The moth again. Lawrence still has branches all over the world. Lawrence is a mysterious organization hidden within but independent of the Laplace Scientific Computing Center. Its primary area of research is the chaos energy of Arcanum. Its members distrust the tech of human civilization and would rather discard them. They're active in various sites of arcane phenomena, secretly searching for the original butterfly. While all of its members' whereabouts remain unknown, Lawrence still has branches all over the world. You mean Manus Vindicte? It is a butterfly? This one looks like a moth. It's fuzzy. I guess, oh no, the edges are... Okay, this one's the butterfly still. There's some moths and butterflies in the story. There's like 13 factions in the okay. Okay. See, this is the kind of thing, yeah, like I feel like we can piece together more of the puzzles of these vague notes sometimes better once we have a bit more of the story connected. Yeah. Okay, so next... Oh my god, people have skipped the inner chapter just because it's only story? That was so important feeling, and had an interesting... Yeah, I mean, it brought in Lucy, right? That's our first time meeting Lucy. And then it talks about Greta Hoffman, who is familiar, but why? Why is Greta why is that familiar? Why is Greta familiar? Was she mentioned? Probably in one of these, like the children's stuff one. Who is Greta Hoffman? Why is that familiar? Besides knowing that that's that dude's that we just met sister. She's been mentioned in some of the text or conversations with Souther. Or was that the very beginning? Was that the very beginning with her? Yeah, I feel like it's... it feels very familiar. But yeah, see, that's another thing. It's like... that name didn't mean anything, but now it does, right? Mentioned in the roguelike. Oh yeah, for sure. That might be it. It's the roguelike. The roguelike. Yeah, the, Dusk. A series of dusks. For sure. So, I wonder if... It's getting difficult to do some of the things. I was trying to do the other... stories. Like I mentioned, the other, the other endings. I wonder if I should turn off. I might want to turn off the expansion. We'll have to see. But that allows the 4th ending as the expansion. This one? Or no, this one. But then we get the Acoustica for the people I'm using. So I kind of want that. Blah. Wish granted is the main one. Yeah. I stopped paying attention to the story because it's all the same. It's just the endings are different now, right? Impromptu Barcarola. Yeah, I don't know anything about her. She just looks cute. Okay, and this is the content that I'm gonna have to do. Mains I already did. I was really close at doing reveries, guys. I think I can actually, with my mismatch random ass people, I think I can actually do stage 100. I did 2 of them, and then the 3rd one was troublesome. But I think if I stole Kakania from this one, or was it this one? This one. If I stole Kakania from this one and put her in this team, and made her more of a DPS, for real, I think she would be the main one. And be okay. I was really close. I have to reset them though. You can reset only- wait, no, Kakania's here. Okay, I put Kakania in a random- oh yeah, I mixed up- so I knew that my team with Recoleta would be so strong that I could throw in a random person and not care about the 4th person, which was good. I just threw in X, who's level 20. And then I had Kakania in my first team, but I had another healer there, so people survived fine. Liang was there. And then this one was my Jew, and like Sotheby, Kakania, I don't know, Beacorn, if they were leveled, I wish. But Kakania is, so I think if I throw her in this team, I could actually do it if I reset this one. This one. Oh god, can I do this one without her though? Maybe. I think so. I recently leveled up Liang a little bit more. So this is fun. I didn't think I would get to... I had someone tell me not to even do any reveries until I had 3 full teams built. Bruh, I'm like, I'm almost there. I'm so close to do... I almost did it. I was like, at the very end, I died. I was like 2 hits away. Not even. Probably only 1 hit away from killing the boss. With a mishmash team. So I was like, alright, let me just steal Kakania and we'll be good. And then people are telling me don't even do it. Unless you have 3 teams built. I'm like, my random ass people can make it happen. So I'm glad I didn't follow that advice. Yeah. Imagine if I did and I just ignored it for the next 3 months. And then I'd have no reverie materials for all of the people with Euphoria that I need. Like Pickles. And if I ever want to get Eternity and Symbolize to go with Nautica in the future, which I do, I will have no resources for them. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use my... The problem is the resources. I don't have the resources to level everybody up, right? So, like, I love Beacorn. She brings the defense down. I like that. And that would be okay. I really want to level her, but I also started building La Source as a healer, and then I stopped because I was like, wait, I could just use Kakania and steal her from the first team that I had. Which is, I don't need... I realized I didn't need my full main team because it's already strong. They're my most leveled up. So I kind of took out Kakania and just threw in a random person and still did it. But I definitely need... I just want to do the level 100. So I'm gonna... That one should be completed soon. But then we just got thrown so much content at us that I did my Limbo. And I have to put out that other video tomorrow. And there's the Beyond the Boundaries. I still have to do that in a couple days probably. I'm not going to do it today. That's for sure. I hate doing things late though. And Lucidscape. I still have to finish my Lucidscape. I never went back to do the... finishing the final stars. I have to do 3 and 4 to get my full stars still. To redo 3 and 4 to get my full stars still, which will be super easy. My characters are so much more leveled now. To be honest, I might be able to auto it now. Because even Liang is Insight 3 now. But we'll see. There's just so much. It's so much to do, right? But it's fine. It's part of the fun, I guess. Yeah, I'd only have so many people built. And I only have so many resources to do it, right? Like I show my builds in every bit video. I love Baby Blue. She's so cute. That's why I put her as my person to get some bonds right now. Because she's adorable. I haven't met her in story yet. Do we meet her? I'm assuming we meet everybody, but maybe we don't. Yeah, I can't just build people. Like, I'm maxing out. I mean, I've spent like a few $100s on this game already. Probably $200 to $300. Haven't even made that much money because of this game. It's fine. But I still, even with... That's the thing, is like, you want to summon and you want to get the characters, but then I can't fucking build everybody. So it's just a grind. I know, right? Oh, so she yeah, even 2.8 she hasn't come in yet. Interesting. Yeah, it does cost a lot. The good thing is, with the upcoming content, I have a couple of those resources ready for the 5 stars. So maybe if the Assassin's Creed character is really cool, I'll be able to instantly get one of those maxed. Or if there's another one in 2.7 or 2.8 that's actually worth taking to Insight 3 for my comps. I don't think so, because everyone we've talked about for those are all 6 stars, but it's fine. But yeah, I have 2 of these things ready to take someone instantly. But I'm not going to waste them on anybody I already have, because it's just not necessary for me right now. I'm really close on content, though. We'll get more, yeah. Yeah, I tried getting some advice on what to do from someone who claimed to be a good source of advice, and I get that they are super endgame, but and I think they're a Chinese server player, but I don't think they had much of a I don't think they had much of a, I don't mean another content creator, but I don't think they had much connection to what a new player experience is like. So it's like, you have nothing, don't use anything. Or build these certain teams only, there is no answer. Don't build Liang, she sucks. No, I'm saying not a content creator. No, someone who's not a content creator. It's like, okay, my P1 Liang that I pulled for, I'm never gonna use her. Fuck off. Yes, I am. I'm gonna use her, goddammit. I don't care if everything is the best meta option. We're still gotta have some fun, right, guys? We still have to play characters we enjoy, and I've played enough gacha games to figure out team synergies. When I see someone with good debuffs, like her, oh, there it is. Like a defense down, I know that's helpful to help everybody else do more damage. Increased damage taken and defense down. Like, this is huge. This is amazing. I do want to use Beatcorn more often as well. Oh, she's your main. You like her? Yeah. Pray for Euphoria. That's true. I mean, I got Jill easily on the one banner. In like 110 pull, right? And she's getting Euphoria.
6, 7, 8, 9. The number of papers more than 9.
Yeah, people just... I'm not only gonna build the meta things coming and waste everything else I've, like... You know, I still gotta... I can't wait. There's also that. I'm not pulling for Aleph. I'm not worried about impromptu. See, that makes sense. Like, if it doesn't make sense for what I already have or what I want in the future, then I'm not going to do it. But I do want, like, Nautica, we know is super OP and she's a limited. So of course I'm gonna pull for her. So because I want Nautica in the future, I'm going to, let's see, let me pull up that one graph from, that I shared in here from, hold on, I'll tell you my pull plans, I guess. Spoiler alerts for anyone who does not want to know what's coming. It's too late, we already talk about it all the time. So if you go by like this here, so I'm not pulling for a team with a left. I don't have Barcarola. It doesn't make much sense. Yeah, exactly. It would make no sense. But I also don't have any of these with Nautica. But that makes sense because she's Nautica. She's the limited. We're gonna try to get the good, strong, limited hero who's extremely OP. So, and I love Semawise. Semawise was the first character I was visually drawn to when I opened the game. I want Semawise. And Euphoria, or sorry, Euphoria. Eternity is adorable and super pretty and interesting too. So why not? So I'm keen to go for that team. That sounds good to me. But I also over here, Flutter, Paige, and Fatutu are part of so many comps and interesting characters. So if I had Flutter instead of Eternity, that sounds okay with me as well. But I don't have Ezra or Medicine Pocket, so that's a weird one for this team. But this team is the far in the future team, right? This is not anytime soon, right? It's not anytime soon at all for me, for my account. So that is not happening. But I'm gonna try for it. I'm gonna work on it, you know, like I'll try to get Semawise and Eternity through selectors or through future Ripples banners. I want Flutter, Page, and Fatutu for other teams. So, yeah, I'm gonna pull. Okay, so I'm gonna pull not for Aleph. I am gonna pull for Capernia. So my Recoleta team. I was debating pulling for Moldier, but then I would render Pickles useless in this team. And if I'm gonna get Pickles, I'm gonna use him. Damn it, he's so good and he's good in multiple slots. So I feel like I'm gonna go with Pickles instead of Moldier, and then Capernia instead of Medicine Pocket. So that is that'll be my core team, is these two, and then the first two will be my Recoleta team of the future. And then my second team, somehow I want Liang with 37, Flutter, Page, and Fatutu. But I have to get them. Somehow. It can build Semawise as her. Okay. If I have to pull her first. I have to get her first. So, but yeah, I have Liang, and I was gonna pour with 30. Yeah, I know. I'm not worried about Lucy team. I'm not even looking at that. Whenever she comes back, okay, maybe. But I mean, I guess is she gonna come back in the same time as Nautica? Are they rerunning together? Or is she rerunning with her? Oh boy, we have the. I probably won't pull for her. No, fuck off. Oh my god. We have the collab too. We can't get everybody. Oh god. That sucks. Can't pull for I guess you just try to get one copy and hope you're good. Like, Nautica sounds like she's so good that getting multiple copies would be great. But it might not be realistic when there's so much going on at once. Welcome to Gacha Planning. I've literally played 20 Hero Collector Gacha games. 20. I wrote them all down in a spreadsheet. I am a dolphin. I know, D3. I'm gonna have to dolphin a little bit. I know, Lucy seems really fun. I actually used her as someone's assist in Series of Dusks. I've played 20 gacha games. It's a problem. But yeah, my next closest plans are... Wait, I don't know the order of 2.7 banners, but Capernia. And then get pickles from the selector. And then if I can get Semmelweis and Eternity along the way, I will. Or Flutterpage or Patutu if they have banners. I'll be very tempted. It's going to be hard not to pull for one of them if I have the chance. I might skip Eternity because I will try to use Flutterpage because she would have... If I go by this guide, I would have someone, you know, that can be in multiple teams that I want to use. Yeah. Lucy is really fun for sure. And that's Ulrich. Oh god. Can't pull everybody. I'm so used to pulling for everybody, like in Watcher of Realms or other games. But then I think back to the raid days and we never got anybody we wanted. Yeah. That's how I felt about Liang as well. She was listed as a secondary DPS, but she can be the main as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about him though. No, I'm not. I can't. This whole loose. I mean,
What are you doing?
there's no way I can literally get everybody. So it's gonna be interesting when the time comes. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on what's next. We'll see.
We never know.
Don't worry about Ulrich. Oh, is she the free one? Or he free? People were talking about someone that we get for free. Is that the free one? You can spoil upcoming things because it's like people are always talk about them. Just the only thing I try not to spoil is like story. I did get the promo code. I'll have a video out. I already recorded a video for it and I will post that after I'm done here. He's free? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we will get him anyway. Got it. Oh, so that makes you want to pull for Lucy even more if he's like a good duo, right? Oh god. Why do they do that to us? What was I gonna do? I was gonna check something. Oh, I was gonna show you guys at my summoning. I'm at 78 summons. And I'm not pulling for Aleph, so I'm gonna be bored for a while, guys. It's really weird not to summon for multiple weeks. It's really weird. It makes me want to do this, but I'm not going to. But I want to. I already got Melania on this banner, so you guys know what that means otherwise. Lily is doing great. She's freaking adorable and hilarious. Yeah, I won't. I won't, Howard. Don't worry. I'm just so used to like, I'm used to weekly banners, not these long ass ones. I'm used to every new week is an event. And pulling every fucking week, except maybe skipping like one here and there. It's really weird to me to not. Okay, I'm gonna share some fun. We're gonna close out here with Lily, my daughter, being adorable. I shared this in the FATELESS Discord, which is in the company I'm a community manager for. Creating Godforge. There's a random ass person. I don't know. Okay, but Lily was being adorable. Oh, wait, can I get it loud enough? Oh, shoot, the game. Hold on. It's funny. So I was playing the Godforge video in the background. And she was just sitting there talking to Simon.
Thankfully, leather is in the game.
She had lots to say about this video, apparently. Lots to say. She's so cute. Oh, yeah. She's adorable. Okay, she's cute. We know this. Future Lily loves gaming. We already got her name made out. Okay, let me, I already closed the game. Oh, let's see what's going on in the world of Twitch. It got quiet now. What is going on here? I think we might just pop off. Let's see. Yeah. Oh wait, someone actually is online. This guy has a funny... Okay, this guy... What's guys? We know how many people. Stay with me if you can on Twitch. Or if you're on YouTube, come over to Twitch real quick so we could raid somebody. Let's raid this guy who has a hilarious... Sad. Hilarious, not hilarious. Title. He says, doing, chillin', reading stories as a divorced father... A divorcee father of 2 while still trying to be funny. Let's give him a raid. He's playing Reverse 1999, I mean. Okay. Reading stories as a divorcee father of 2 while trying to be funny. Okay, he's reading stuff that I don't know, so he must be further ahead than me.
It's... FATELESS.
Yes. Is it my turn?
Okay. Alright guys, I'll see you later. On YouTube. Bye.